Hi, welcome back to the Happy Burrow Homestead. Today we've got a warm day, so we're taking on some smaller projects so we can get some breaks from the weather. But today we're going to actually be working in the reindeer pasture because our boys, their antlers are just getting so big that we've noticed Klaus actually was scraping one of his antlers trying to get to his feed dish. So we're going to be putting some posts out into the pasture. And one of our really good friends had the suggestion with her reindeer. She uses these gigantic frisbees as a feeder because they don't have to worry about their antlers getting in the way. So we're actually going to be putting the posts in, and then we'll just be mounting these frisbees on, and we're going to see how they like them. Chris is just loading up the tractor with all of our tools and things that we need. We have an auger that we're going to be using. So he's got all that loaded up and he's going to drive it down and we'll head out. The boys are out just coming to see what's going on out here. They've been spending a lot of the day in the barn by the fan today because it is pretty warm. So you can see their antlers are getting a pretty good size. So their feed buckets, we have them right now just hooked onto the fence. And so the fence is kind of getting in the way of their antlers. So we're gonna get them something, hopefully that works a little bit better. So here they come. And this one right here is Klaus, and coming up here, this is Odin. They're very curious. They're shedding out all that winter coat, and before you know it, they're gonna look a whole lot different because they're gonna have a lot of short hair and not all that long hair. Klaus is already shedding out pretty good. They're very curious animals, so they definitely will come and check out all of the tools and things that we bring down. So they're investigating all the things. So what we're gonna do is, here you can see we currently had their feeders set up. So we're gonna keep them about the same height off the ground, and we're just gonna put some posts in over here. And Chris already has a mark, so he's just gonna cut them up and we'll get the holes drilled and start getting them in the ground. So see here, his antlers start to get really close to that fence, especially if he's facing forward. So that's why we're installing these, so that gives their antlers some more room. And hopefully this will work. And Klaus is actually the one that's having a bigger problem because he's got some coming out, hit those antlers in the front that just rub real hard on it, and we just don't want him to nick his velvet. So we're just using a 4x4 and washers and 2.5-inch screws to fasten the frisbees to the top of this, and that's about all we're using in terms of materials. We're gonna put about a foot down into the ground here and then have about 2 feet on top, and then we'll attach the frisbees to that. So he's just putting some gravel in to help fill it up so it's not too deep, and then also we'll pack some gravel in around it as well to help secure it. The gravel also helps for drainage. This is what it'll look like when it's done. We found these giant frisbees at Menards for, I think they were like $6. So that's what we're gonna be attaching here. All right, so we've got these both installed, and we're actually gonna give them a little treat now. And then we'll take you along to do our evening chores here in a little while as well. But right now we'll just see how they like it. So I'm here in the barn right now. This is their stall that they're both sharing right now. They like this concrete here, if you can see it. The concrete keeps them nice and cool, and we do have a fan that we're running when it gets warm for them, and they seem to really enjoy that. It also helps with the fly control. So we'll take this out and see how they do here. This is much better now that they each have their own, so they're not bumping into each other or the fence. On these hot days, the boys especially like these waters, especially that low one here, because they like to splash in it and helps keep them cool. So we make sure we keep them loaded up with lots of cold water here. This one they drink out of more, and then the other one is more for their splashing in. So we find them doing that throughout the day. And so for our evening chores, since they're already fed and watered, we're just gonna clean up the poop around here in the pasture, which we do a couple times a day. And see here, that's what a healthy reindeer poop looks like. Well, now they have a lot more room here for their antlers when they each have their own. So I think this might be a good solution to our problem, at least for now. Here we have our silkies and some of our Polish chicks here. They're all hanging out here. These guys will be ready to go outside soon. This one little silky is so tiny. And we have a couple still in the house. And they'll join this flock when they get a little bit bigger. Well, we are rotationally grazing the cows. We did pull them off that back pasture because they couldn't keep up with it quite yet. And we're gonna have it baled here this week. So we pulled them back up here for the time being, at least until it gets baled. So then they should be able to keep up with it a little bit better. So they're up here with the donkeys again, and we still have one more that has to calve. So it'll be good to have her close by. So we'll see if we can get them over here so you can see the babies too, because I don't think you've seen them yet. We've had a baby heifer and a baby bull calf born just a couple weeks ago. So we'll be keeping both of them. Our little steer will be beef eventually, and our heifer we're gonna keep. I'm hoping that one day she'll be our first dairy cow, and we've named her Ruby. So I'm making my way into our backyard where we have all of our chickens, our ducks, and our pigs. And we are gonna be getting ready to move everybody out of here shortly. As you can see, the backyard is kind of a mess. It is getting really overgrown because we have been putting a lot of time into our gardens, and we'll be doing a garden tour here soon as we're finished up there. And then we're gonna be getting ready to move all of these guys. So we'll be sure to take you along for the ride on that. So I'm gonna go feed everybody and get inside and cool off. So thanks for joining us again, as always. So glad to have you here. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back again soon.